by President Bola Tinubu reveals that the federal government plans to spend 6.9 billion naira on procurement of vehicles for the State House. In the proposed budget, the office of the First Lady, which is not...
My brothers and sisters, I'm not going to take much of your time, but I want you to take your time. Watch this video to the end. How His Excellency plan to spend 2023 supplementary budget? I don't want to say it by myself, but I want you to understand the explanation bit by bit, how this money is being spent. But don't forget to like it, share it so that other of your brothers and sisters will see it themselves. Now, let's go there.
A deeper look into the supplementary budget forwarded to the National Assembly by President Bola Tinubu reveals that the federal government plans to spend 6.9 billion naira on procurement of vehicles for the State House. In the proposed budget, the office of the First Lady, which is not a constitutional creation, will get 1.5 billion naira for the purchase of new cars. Also, the federal government has proposed to appropriate the sum of 5 billion naira for the purchase of a presidential yacht under the Navy capital expenditure, while another 2.9 billion naira is to be spent on sports utility vehicles SUVs for the presidential villa, and another 2.9 billion naira on replacing cars in the pool. This amount is different from another 12.5 billion naira to be spent on the presidential air fleet. In all, President Tinubu plans to spend 28 billion naira on the State House, out of which 4 billion naira is voted for the renovation of residential quarters for Mr. President. President Bola Tinubu had on Tuesday forwarded the supplementary budget of 2.17 trillion naira to the National Assembly, asking the lawmakers to expedite action on it. Tinubu, in the executive letter to the National Assembly, said the supplementary budget would support provisional wage of 35,000 naira to workers, costing the federal government 210 billion naira and 400 billion naira as cash transfers to vulnerable citizens. Tinubu also explained that the supplementary budget will shore up the country's security and agricultural sectors, and that part of the funds will be used for the off-season governorship elections in Imo, Kogi and Bayelsa. The letter was, however, completely silent on the billions of naira allocated for the purchase of new cars in the State House and Presidency. The Presidency has in the meantime declined to make any comment on the matter. The proposed expenditure by the President comes amid huge public criticism, with some groups holding protests in Lagos and Abuja over the decision of the National Assembly to purchase SUVs valued at 160 million naira each for members, as well as bulletproof SUVs for the principal officers. Despite the hue and cry, the Senate, through its Committee on Special Services, has justified the purchase, saying it is part of its work tool, and calling on Nigerians to be less critical of their lawmakers and start to beam their searchlights on the executive arm of government.
That they approve a Land Cruiser for us, and somebody that is a minister, you have more than 6, maybe 3 Land Cruiser, Prado, and other vehicles in their convoy, and you are not asking them questions. Please spare us a bit. And this vehicle that you take, go to Nigerian roads today. If I go home once to my senatorial district, I come back spending a lot on my vehicle because our roads are bad.
At the moment, there is no debate yet from the National Assembly regarding the planned expenditure on the billions to be spent on new cars for the State House, the Presidency, and the office of the First Lady.